A very good morning to all my dear students. I hope you all are fine. Children, we were doing chapter 13, magnetic effects of electric current. In our last class, we did magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. Today, before we move toward the next topic, we shall see some in-text questions. Now the first question is given in page number 229 of your NCERT textbook. Consider circular loop of wire lying in the plane of table. Let the current pass through the loop clockwise. Apply the right hand rule to find out the direction of the magnetic field inside and outside the loop. Now this question can be understood by the help of this picture. The current carrying circular loop is placed on the plane of a table, as you can see, and the current is moving in a clockwise direction. So if we apply the right hand thumb rule, when the current is moving in upward direction, then the current magnetic field direction will be outside the table, and when the current is moving in the downward direction toward the right, then the magnetic field direction should be inside the table. So when this type of question comes and you have to write the answer in your book, in your answer sheet, you can write according the direction of the magnetic field according to the direction of the current. Okay children, let us see now the next question. The magnetic field in a given region is uniform. Draw a diagram to represent it. Diagrammatically, we represent it with the help of these parallel lines, and if the lines are not parallel, then it will be non-uniform. Next, question number 3. Choose the correct option. The magnetic field inside a long straight solenoid carrying current is 0, decreases as we move towards its end, increases as we move towards its end, and is the same at all points. Yes children, the answer is B, decreases as we move towards its end. With this we finish the in-text question, and today we will start with this topic, force on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. This is a very important topic children, because electric motor principle is based on this particular topic. And now we will see what is told. Children, here we have this circuit diagram drawn on the board, and before we start with what was explained in the circuit diagram, let's see here what is written. French scientist André-Marie Ampère, he suggested that the magnet must also exert equal and opposite force on the current carrying conductor. Now what does this mean is that, if you remember children, we started this chapter with the Oersted experiment, right? So Oersted, what he was trying to conclude from his activity, from his experiment, was that whenever the current flows through a conductor, then it exerts a force on the magnetic compass needle. Okay, magnetic needle which is found inside the magnetic compass, and because of which it got deflected from its position. Now the same thing got just reverse here. André-Marie Ampère thought that the reverse should also be equally true. That means that whenever the current carrying conductor is placed in between a magnetic field, then the magnet should exert some force on the current carrying conductor. Children, this was a very remarkable beginning, after which there were many electrical equipments were based on functioning on this particular theory. We'll come to know about electric motor also, which is functioning on this particular theory, and the principle behind that is the same which is written on the top of the board: force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Now let us see what he was trying to explain through this diagram. Now in this figure we can see that this magnet is kept over here. This is a horseshoe shaped magnet, and this is a iron or a metal conductor. A bar is been taken. There are two ends A and B marked over here. From here a wire, a conducting wire is being wounded around it, and the rest portion of the wire is being connected to the negative of the battery. Next, the second point B is being wounded here again, and then some number of turns are being taken over here so that it can better hang, and then the rest of portion of the wire is being connected to the positive terminal of the battery. This is a key, and when the key is closed, at that time the current starts flowing. This arrow represents the direction of the current which is flowing through the conductor. Now when the current flows through it, then the entire metal, the current flows through the entire metal, right? And this whole metal has been placed in just between of this horseshoe magnet. So here we have on one side north pole, on the other side we have the south pole. What happens after what we see from the experiment, after this observation, we see that as soon as the current is switched on, it gets deflected from its position and it moves in somewhat in this particular direction. So as soon as we switch off the current, suppose the current is switched off, the plug is open and there is no arrows marked over here, the current is not moving, then in that condition it comes back to its original position. So that means if I place this chalk over here, it gets deflected from its position like this, again come back to its position, again it gets deflected, again it's come back to its position. So this proves that the magnet is exerting some force on this current carrying conductor when it is placed in between it. So that was the experiment done by the scientist Andre Marais Ampere. Let us see now the direction of force, how we come to know in which direction the conductor will move. This is given by Fleming's left hand rule, and according to this rule, if we stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other, then first finger point in the direction of magnetic field, second finger in the direction of current, and the thumb will point in the direction of force that is exerted on the conductor. This whole statement, children, you need to memorize and you need to write it in your copy as well. Let us simplify now what it tells. In this diagram you can see that there are three fingers which are mutually perpendicular to each other: thumb, field and current. One thing that you have to remember, that you have to use left hand only for using the Fleming left hand rule. And the most important finger over here is the thumb, because that tells the direction of the force. But before knowing the direction of the force, we have to know what is the direction of the magnetic field and the direction of current. Now how do we use it? Generally in the question, field and current direction is provided. So how we are going to use it? Let us see that. While applying this, what we are going to do, we will use our left hand, and we have to use these three fingers, that is the thumb, the first finger and the middle finger, and we have to stretch out perpendicular to each other, okay, 90 degree, making with each other. Now in this figure you can see that the current is moving in the downward direction, and this is the direction of the magnetic field. So if I put my first finger in this particular direction, this is pointing at the direction of the magnetic field. This is the direction of the current because it is coming down. So this is making 90 degree. And now if I stretch my thumb such that it is again making 90 degree, then the thumb is pointing outward the plane of the board. So that means the force will be exerted on this conductor in the outward direction. So what does it mean is if the conductor is kept in this particular manner, if you consider this pencil as to be the conductor, then the force on this conductor will be such that it is going to lift from its position and the conductor will be going out of the board. And if the direction of the current is reversed, then the force will be acting inside the board, inside the plane of the board. So children, we have completed till here, and in our next class I will come with a new topic. Till then, complete your notes and keep studying, children. Thank you.